So Expendables 4, also known as Expend4bles, sees the return of our favorite group of macho mercenaries led by Sylvester Stallone, who once again take on a Black Ops mission for the US government to try and stop an arms dealer hell-bent on acquiring a trigger to a nuclear weapon that will start a global conflict. I'm going to start off by saying that I've always thought of the Expendables movies as a guilty pleasure action franchise. One that you enjoy for the over-the-top violence, the funny banter between the team members, and also cameos from former 80s action stars. Nothing made me happier than watching Expendables 2, where you had a slew of 80s action stars in the same movie together, kicking butt, something that you probably wouldn't get from any other franchise. These movies tend to be fairly disposable, however. I've seen each of these movies once, and I've never really had the desire to go back and revisit them. I think that's primarily because they don't really bring anything new to the table, unlike some other action franchises like the Mission Impossible movies. They tend to have more modest budgets for action movies, and as a result, you kind of get a mixture of some good practical effects, but also some lower quality digital effects. This time around though, things are actually worse. You don't have any of those action star cameos like you had in the previous movies, and the effects are a lot worse. For example, the first shot that you have of the Expendables plane looks like it was rendered on Windows 98 or something. You have bad green screen all over the place, and a lot of the digital shots look like they're video game cutscenes. I could spend the rest of this review complaining about how bad the effects are, but I'm not going to do that because I have other things to complain about. This really isn't an Expendables movie as much as it is a Jason Statham action movie. Yes, the Expendables team is in it, but let's just say that there's a shakeup in the team early on in the movie, and Jason Statham is front and center for pretty much the remainder of the runtime. He puts in the most work here, but as a team movie, it disappoints. Plus, you have notable absences from Terry Crews and Jet Li, who I was actually surprised I missed them not being in this one. You do have new team members like Megan Fox, who is basically eye candy for the camera. They don't really have her doing very much except standing around looking good. Not that I really have a problem with that, but she's underutilized, and she only has a couple of action scenes that are over fairly quickly. You also have returning cast members like Randy Couture and Dolph Lundgren, who also feel very underutilized. But one of the big problems is that several parts of the plot feel very contrived. According to one of the trailers for this movie, there was somewhat of an outcry among the fan base that Expendables 3 was rated PG-13 and it wasn't nearly as violent or gory as the first two Expendables movies in the franchise. And apparently there was a concerted effort to make sure that this fourth Expendables movie was sort of a return to form. The only problem is that at times the violence is so over the top and ridiculous, and the special effects are so bad that it comes across as just laughable. Plus, there are plot points in this movie that are directly copied from Expendables 3, only this time around they make even less sense as to why they happen. We do get jokes about genitalia tucking and genital warts, so at least there's that. I'm going to give Expendables 4 a 4 out of 10. Thank you so much for checking out my movie review. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.